to look at this video. Okay, so I have started the record, so you can see and look through this record if you need. Then today we have not as usual week as it seems, but we have semi-lecture, seminar work. So we will try to realize the library pandas. So the pandas library is the most popular library in terms of data analysis. So we usually use it. Oh, do you have any questions? No. Okay. So we usually use the library pandas when we need to create some data analysis. Just the regular Python, of course, you may use, but it is not so efficient in terms of if you want to group something or make some simple calculations. So usually it is done with pandas. So today we will look in detail to this library and we will discuss it. Okay, so right now I hope you can see my my desktop. Is it true?
No,
not yet.
So you cannot see the desktop?
No.
No, we can't.
Sorry, I will try to do it once again. Oops.
And actually your video is frozen as well.
Oh, it's not so good. I just finished the. So let me reboot the MS Teams. I have some problems, so please wait me here. Is it okay right now, colleagues?
No.
No, we don't see anything.
Okay, so I think that right now you should wait for a little bit longer. I need to restart the computer because I cannot see that. So you may go and have a cup of tea if you would like.
Now actually I can see.
Yes, it appeared.
And the video is okay as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's try. Right now is okay? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So as you have previously mentioned that at my links to the video at YouTube, they have maybe half an hour discussing how to use the pandas not in the notebook but from the command line. But here using the library is just you write down the import pandas as PD, and then you can get the all access to all functions of pandas. So first of all, you have to import this library. It's the standard library, so you do not need to install this. So just import and you can go next. So first of all, we should think about the library as so the main object of this library is data frame. So the data frame, if you think about the Microsoft Excel, you can think about the data frame as the single sheet of Microsoft Excel. So it's just the table with the columns and rows. So you should create this table to manipulate with the data inside. So first of all, you need to create this data frame. So how can you create it? First of all, you may use just the dictionary, just a regular dictionary with the rules that each key should contain the list with the same dimensions. So if you have the key column 1 with 3 elements in the list, you should have the key column 2 or column 3 or whenever also with 3 elements inside the list. So it's if you have not the 3 elements but 2 or more, then you will have to deal with error. So if we add the D here, we should have an error. So you should have the same number of values in each column. So right now we can see the simple data frame. We have 2 columns and 3 rows. So here the first column without a header, this is an index. It is in bold, so you can realize that it differs from all of the rest the data at the next columns. So also you can create the data frame not by using the dictionary, but you can create the list of lists, and each list, each element of this list is also a list with all values in this row. So if here we create it by defining the column, here we have to create by defining the row. So 0A, 1B, 2C. So here is the list of lists, and we have to capture to provide the column titles. So we can create, this will be the same data frame as was created at the previous cell. So it's rather the same, just we changed the column names and that's all. So this is about the creation of data frames. Also, we cannot copy the data frame just by assigning it to a new variable. We need to use the method copy Otherwise, we will realize that if we change something in initial data frame, the changes will be also in the second data frame. So it copy not the full content, but just the link to this data frame. So that's why we need to use the separate method copy. Do you have any questions related to creation of data frames? Okay, so we'll go next. We need to do something with the rows and columns. So if we have just the data frame, sometimes we need to add something more. And we can create just the separate data frame. I remember that we have right now the data frame data. Yes, the data. And I would like to add something to the end of this data frame. So I can create just the new data frame data2 like this. So it's just the data2 equals to this one. So oops. So we have 3 rows here and 2 rows here. So we have also the same labels of the columns. So we can concatenate it with one and the second one. So how can it be done? So we can use the data, it's the initial data frame, and we can use the method append to append the data to the end. So the data2 will be provided as the data that should be appended to initial data frame. So right now we have the 3 rows from the first one and 2 rows from the second one. If you see, you can mention that we have the some kind of problems with the indexes. So we have 0, 1, 2, then 0, 1. So it's the indexes from the initial data frames. When you do this, you need to reset index. So we need to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or something like this. So you have to use the special method. It's called just the reset index, and you will get the data frame with the resetted index with the correct order. But also you will have a special column with an old index. Usually this index, you do not need to have this column. So you can ask the pandas not to create this column. So this may be achieved by providing the special argument drop, which should be set to equal to true. So if we set this, so we will have just the correct order of the index and not the separate index column. So this, how can we add one data frame to the to another? Do you have any questions here, comments, or no? Okay.
Reset index is like sorting or deleting?
I'm sorry.
I don't understand the function reset index or method.
So we have this index to the left from. So it's not the actual data, but it's just the row numbers. So it's like the row numbers if you see at the Excel. You can see the we have the row numbers. And so in order to fix this during while you copy these indexes, so the data frames usually can have the index not set not by the just the regular numbers, but you can also set it as use any column to set as index. And in the next steps, we will see how it will look like. But if you have just the columns with the number, you maybe it's not must, but you should reset this index in order to fix that. Okay, so we can reset index, we can skip this column. Okay, if you would like to delete just some column, you can use just as usual the word del, and you can use the name of data frame and then pass the name of the column. So you will get the data frame without this column. Also, you can create the data frame and pass the 2 or 3 columns. So you need just to pass the list here. Okay, so all the rest is based on the conditions. So you can do things like this. So we have the data frame data. Right now it's we have just only one column. We have A, B, and C inside it. So at this data frame, you can test that in column, the second one, the value will be equal to B. If you remember, at the second week, we discussed the conditions. We discussed the Boolean values, and right here, if you state the sign equal, so the equal, you will get not the true or false as usual, but you will get a vector of the true or false values. So you will get the true, the false, true or false with the same dimension as the initial column. So right here we will have false, true, and false. So true will be only for the index with that will be equal to this value. So to the next, we can use we can take the data and then we can pass this true or false line. So we will get only the data frame at which this will be equal to true. So we will have the simple data frame, and after that we can get just the indexes of this data frame, of this row. So if we take the index, we will get this. Maybe this is just the list. So this is actually, this is just the list, the list of data frame rows. So we just, in this case, we have just the list of data frame rows. So, and if we pass this to the data.drop, we can see that we have the data frame without these rows with this index. So that's how can be realized the drop. Can you tell me how can we do this not by using this long line, but the shorthand line? Can you can you think? Colleagues? Okay, so we have the sign equal. Can we take this one? Yes. Can we take this one? Not equal, but not equal. The same. Also, we can do this one. Oops. So this is the inverted logic. So we take only those rows that not equal to B. So, and the data and square brackets from this true or false statements, we will get the correct data frame. So you can use the method, or you can use just this logic to get the data frame that you are really need. So this as you like. Do you have any questions here? And can you hear me? Or maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear you.
Okay. I just think that maybe I'm talking with myself. So okay. So you can realize the idea. How can we filter the rows? How can we get the part of the data frame, and how can we get the data frame the drop some lines by just the list. So here, as you can see, we can just pass the numbers. So 1, then 2, or something like this, or even 0. So we will have just the empty data frame. So how can you create this list? It's your idea. So it's for you. Okay, so we can add the column, we can delete the column, we can append something, we can delete some rows. Okay, so right now we have a lot of functions how to read and write the data. The original so the most important one is the read underscore Excel. So we can get the file. Right here we have the XLS file from just the internet. So we it's somewhere on the website, so you can download this file, and also you can see that it's just the Excel file with some kind of tables, 1, 2, 3, then graphs and so on, and a couple of sheets. So you can take just some part of the data. So in this example, we take just the first table. So we would like to take 44 rows, and from A to G the columns. So here we use the columns A, G, and then we have the number of rows 43. So right here, if I'm not mistaken, 43 means that we have here 44, and here we have just the first row is the number of not the number, the row with the titles. So that's why we can use the function pd.read_excel, and we can pass here the name of the file. So you also can pass the name of the file that just placed in the same folder on your hard drive, that the IPNB file. So if it's the same, you can just pass the name, not the HTTP or something like this. So if we start this, so we will have the it takes some time to get the file, and you can see that we have this data frame. So the head means the method to get the first 5 rows from the data frame. Usually you don't need the full data frame. If you see, we can get the data frame, the full data frame, but usually for self checks and to get some impression about the data frame, you need just the first some number. So you can also pass the head and pass the number of the how many observation you need. So the head and pass the number 9, you will get the first 9 rows. Okay, so also when you do something with this data frame, you manipulate, delete something, or so do something that you need just to export it in the opposite way. So you can pass it to the Excel. So how can we do this? We have the data frame. So here, as you can see, we call the pd.readExcel. PD means pandas. So this is the function of the library pandas. Right here, we have the data. This is the data frame. So the data frame has the method to underscore Excel. So we can create the Excel file from the data frame data, and it will be called like test.xls. So my file should be here in downloads. As you can see, today I do not have the test.xls, but if I start this cell, I will have the test.xls, and I can see the full XLS with the full the data of this data frame. So this is the way how to do this. So if I would like to create a data frame with the region, for example, central, then how can I create this? how can I create the test XLS with the rows only from the region central? What should I do?
Maybe drop.
Okay. Okay. The data dot drop. What?
We should use squared brackets.
Right here.
No, first data, then
Then brackets.
Okay.
And we should write the name of the column.
no, I think again data.
Okay.
And then squared brackets and then the name of the column.
Okay, region. Okay. What
It
should
may be not equals because it will drop the needed column.
we need, yes, not equal central. Okay. Central. Okay. And then we should pass the word index. Okay. So right here we have only the central one. So, and how can I export this to Excel?
Create a new file.
Excuse me. Why we use 2 times data? Data brackets, data brackets.
So this one is to get the true, false, true, false, true, false. And this one is to take the data, so the initial data frame, and filter using this true, false column.
Okay.
So
again to use data to Excel.
yeah. So just here, I will use the method to Excel, then test.xls. Then I will start this and using my, so as you can see, I can have the Excel file only with the region that I need. So that's why we can create this output. Okay, so this okay. Let's go next. We can upload, we can download. So this is your how to not to create manually the data frames, but to take it from somewhere else. The data types. We can look what kind of the data types we have. So we have the columns for the date, region, rep, items, and so on. And we have the description, what kind of data we have there. So this is created automatically when the pandas opens the data frame. So in real life, you should always look at these data types when you import some data. Because if you leave the, for example, units as object, it may be, it may happen when you have the, for example, Microsoft with the, not the dot, but the comma as the divider or something like this. You need to check and to provide the correct type of the data. So right here we have the units as int 64, the unit cost as float 64. So in this example we can change the type of the data. So right here we can use the unit cost, which now float 64, as type int 64. What does it mean? What should happen?
Maybe it will change the type.
Okay, and what will be with the data? So right here we have the unit cost is in this case.
So we're changing it to integer.
Yes.
So
So what we see here after the applying?
After the dots, there will be nothing.
Okay, and do we have the dots?
I don't actually see.
So right here we have 1.29. Do we will we have the dots after the conversion to integer?
I guess no.
Yes, you are correct. So if we start this one, so we will have the data type unit cost as integer, and so we will lose some precision in terms of the data. So the unit cost here 125 and so on and so on. So we'll have just the 1, just 4 and so on. So it will not round somehow. So it applies just the integer and that's all. So if you would like to correctly round up this column, you should first of all apply some round functions, but after that you can create change the type of the column. And also we have the total as an object, so we can see that here it's just the float numbers. Right here we cannot see the difference, but right now we cannot do something like this. The total dot, for example, max. Oh no, we can do this. This is really strange for me. It's really strange. It should not, but it does. It's really strange. Okay. Let's see if the total will be used for the next ideas. So just the data describe. Right here we cannot see the total column. So yeah, right here if we would like to call the describe function, or not the function but method, we can see all the numeric columns with the standard statistical coefficients. Okay, so like how many numbers, the mean, standard deviation, and so on and so on. So this calculated only for integers and float numbers. So right here we can see only the numbers. Do you have any questions right now? Okay, so I will go next. The next we can oh, I left it in Russian. So the head method we used previously, so we have spoken about it, but the next is about the slicing. The slicing is about the rows, so it's not about the columns, it's about the rows, and you can use it with the word ilog, and you can do this like with Python lists. So it's just the same. So we will get the rows starting at 10, finish at 20, and with the step 2. So we will get the first index of this new data frame will be. Which number will be the first index? Colleagues?
I guess 10th.
10,
No.
then
Do you ask about the index or the number of the row?
about the index.
So it's 9.
Right now it's just the same. The index 10,
Then 12.
Okay. Then
14, 16, 18.
14, 16, 18. Oh, that's okay. So we will have just a regular idea, just as with the lists. So all the same. So you can use the reverse order if you take with the correct starting and finish positions. So it's just the same as it should be with the lists. So also you can take just one observation or one row. It's just the same. And also you can take the part of your data frame. So you can pass just the list of columns, and you will get the data frame with only these columns that passed here to the square brackets. So it's just the full one, and this one is just a short one. I have a question. What will be done if I will do this? Does it change?
No.
Will it produce any error?
No. It will work, I suppose.
Okay, that's true. It's just the same. So you take so when you take the data, this is a data frame. If you have the data frame, you use the method head. You have the data frame. And if you use this square brackets, you also get the data frame. So it doesn't really matter what to do first. So to have the brackets or to have the method head. In terms of performance, it will be better to do like this. I mean, if you need only first 5 rows and then some kind of columns, it will be done in a memory. So if you take just the first 5 rows and then take the some part of the columns, then it will be in terms of performance faster and more efficient to do like this than firstly to extract the 2 columns and take the 5 rows. But right now and in terms of this course, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the slicing, it's okay. We go next. If you have any questions, here is a good place to ask.
I have a question about log and ilog. So in the video, they said that we can use it with rows and with columns.
You use it, this one with rows, okay.
And with columns.
Columns.
They just, well, used like lists in the list.
You can, if I'm not mistaken, you can. No, log. This mean the log will be when you use it like this. If I'm not mistaken, you can use the like no.
No, they used like a list inside this, so the numbers of the rows are in a list.
You mean this one?
Yes, and then they use a comma and the name of the column.
The comma where?
After the list.
Just like this?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice. I do not use personally this idea, but that's nice.
But if we change the order of these arguments, will it work? Oh, yeah. I suppose. It doesn't matter.
You
we
think
just
so?
need to use different brackets for columns and rows. Or
yes, but
it works.
no,
No.
the rows should come first.
So the the rows. No, rows should come first. And if I'm not mistaken, in documentation you will have no. Yes, this is the. Oh, okay. So you can use it just for not only for the rows but also for the columns. So and here I guess I can create the range function from 5 till yes. So 3, 4, 5. No, but
there was an example with slicing.
yeah, I guess yes, but yes, I would like to do this with other methods. So it's interesting to put something strange inside. So right here we have the function range. It will return the list with 3, 4, and 5. And we can pass it as the first argument to the data log, and so we will get the this this data frame. Okay, so do you have any questions? Okay, so I will say thank you for this second argument. And can we pass this second argument to ILO? No, but what's the? We can?
Yes, but we need to use the first list of indexes of rows, then comma, and then the list of indexes of columns.
Yes, the indexes, but so we need to use just the 1, then 2, then 3, something like yes. Okay. personally, I don't know why you should need the name of columns to pass here. So I will do like this. So rep and then item. So personally, I think that it's more efficient or something like this. So for me, so I need to just to remember one idea. So it doesn't matter if you like, then you can see that you can pass also the range function. You can 0 and 3, 1 and 5 to get the 4 columns. So as you wish. So slicing, okay. Do you have any comments about slicing? Lock, iLock. Okay. Okay. I need to mention this one. So if we do look 3, 4, 5. So if I take just the range, just the first arguments, and here also just the range, as you can see. So it should be the same. So right now it is the same. But if you previously drop the line, for example, the line number 0, then you can see that these functions will be will produce the different behavior. So right here we use just the location. So this location of these numbers will be looked through these numbers. When we drop just the first row with index 0, right here nothing changed. So in terms of lock, but in terms of iLock, we have a problem because we do not have the index 0. So that's why it recreate the index inside, and you will have just the 0, 1, 2, 3 as usual. So that's why the 3 rows will be not actually 3, 4, and 5, but it will switch to the bottom. So please mention this in terms of the difference of iLock and lock behavior. Do you have the questions about this? Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's go next. Conditions. We have used the equal sign, equal, and we can use also conditions with and. It will be the I do not remember the English word of this sign. Okay, so this will be the sign for the AND condition, and this will be the sign for OR condition. So this is just the same as previous one. I just do not delete this. So you can create or AND conditions. It's okay, and also you will need the if you have some list and you would like to check that this value is in this list, so you can use the method isIn So you can get only those values that inside this list. So here we test the column region for east and west. And as you remember, we have also the central part, which is dropped here. So right now we have the only the east and the west. So or and can be used only in this with these characters. So you cannot use the just or. You cannot use this. It will be the error. So you should use just these symbols. Personally, I do not know why, but it works in this manner. So only this logic works. Okay. Do you have any questions about these ideas? Okay. So we will go next. So using the data frames, you can calculate the minimum, maximum, and mean values, and a lot of other values. But here is example 3. So we can use it. We just take the column and use the method. Also, you can group by some category or some column. And so initially, just the group by method do not interesting itself. So right here, this data is not so interesting. So we will get just the group by object. And if we use the functions, so this will be the aggregate functions like mean, max, and mean is just the same. Then we will have the data frame. This data frame is with the special indexes. So the region, central, east, west, this is an index. So if we use just the reset index, we will get it like the ordinary column. So it's just the index of the data frame. And here is the columns. So the columns units, mean, max, and mean. This is just the columns with 2 level. So, but nevertheless, we can take any data from here. So by using the same log idea, and we can take it from the first one. We can use the row, and then we will use the names of the columns. So right here it's maybe look like it will look like as you can use the calling to the dict, to the dict, or yes, to the dict. So also you can create a dict from the data frame. So if we'll have this data frame, we can use the method to dict, and you will get just the dict with the same values. So you can take the same values and take the data as you wish and as you want. Okay, do you have any questions here with the group by and applying the aggregate functions? Okay, let's go next.
Sorry, can you please explain about log, central, and units? Why we need to put these arguments? Because without them, there will be error.
You mean the log without the
log without central and units?
Yes, because you need to pass the first is the row, and then you go from the top to the bottom by so the passing the column name.
Okay.
So the units is like the header. It's
the parent header.
Yes, it's on the top of the minimum, mean, and max. So this units, this is below the units. So this 3 below these units. So that's why you need to pass the initially the units and then mean to get this one. So if you have just the original data frame, you do not need to pass the where we use the log here. So we use the log here to pass the just here is the name, and here okay, like region. Right here you take just the central. You pass the just 1 because we do not have the parent title, and right here you have the parent title, so you need to pass it first and then the second one. So, okay, so let's go next. Group by pivot tables. So I should just show you how it looks like, and then we will discuss. So right here we have the table which contains just the region, just the item, and how many items in general, so the mean number, so average number of these units inside this group. So all the lines with this region and with this item was calculated, and this data was created the average value. So right now we would like to see the table that looks like the name of region as the rows, and as the columns the names of the items. So it will be the data frame with the items here, with the region, and with the all the items that you need. So you can take all the rest is the same. So right here we have the parent, then child, then another child. So right here you should pass the after ilog, not the ilog, but after log. Right here you pass the 4. You have passed to pass 3 square brackets, and here you should pass the 4 square brackets. So units, the first will be the item, I guess. Yes, the item. Then units, then mean, then desk, pen, or something like this to get the original data. So do you have any questions about the pivot tables? Okay.
But why we use reset index here?
Just in order to take this region from the index. It doesn't matter. So you can leave it as it is, but also so it's just the idea. Okay, so go next. We have the graphs. So we have the data frame. We can take just the column, and we can ask the pandas to create the graph. The graph with the frequencies, how many rows we have with these values of inside the data frame. So this can be created just using one command. Also, you can save it somehow, so we can look. So you can create just the separate JPEG files. Object is not found. Okay, so PD. Okay, maybe just data. Yes. So you can save it as JPEG. Can we look now? Here we have now, but it definitely should have, not here in this, but not in this help file, but in general, there must be a description how to save this. There should be some arguments like save to file or something like this. And also you can use to create the scatter plot. So it's we have just the index to access the X and Y, and we pass the columns, so we can use the distribution between these values. So this just the simple graphs, how to create them, how to take them as fast as it can be. So you can take your data frame and create the first impression about the data. So do you have any questions about the pandas or something like this? Okay, so I guess we should have before we will have a break. I would like to look at the cheat sheet. You can download this PDF file. This about how to create the data frames, how to reshape the data. So here is the simple help how to take just the small and the quick reference for the pandas. What should you do with the data frame and so on. So I would like you to spend some time to look here and realize what is it's written here, and how to deal with this cheat sheet. So it's really useful. I guess that we have no time to discuss anything or to have the seminar work, but right here I would like to point you to the first task, which is to import the data from the website, from the CSV file, not the Excel, but CSV, from this website. How can you do this? Just the initial import the file. Your guesses, colleagues?
Maybe we should write import Pokemon data CSV, comma separator.
Okay. So the first line is import pandas. Because right here we do not have any pandas, so it's just the next. So here we can Pokemon data as pd dot
read
underscore
or CSV, and then in brackets the name or the link.
Yes, the link. So we can take the link from here, and if you start this, you can see the error. Expected 2 fields in line 13, so 3. This is because the CSV files should be like, so you have the data and you have the comma between them. If you open with Excel, it will think that you use the not the comma. But if you open this file in just the text editor, open as the notepad, so you can see that between the names and between the data we do not have the comma. Yes, we have the dot and the comma. So that's why we need to pass this separator. So your colleague was right. So we need to pass here the sep equals to this sign. So if we start this, then we do not have any error and we can look at the data. So we can take the data frame. So this is the first step. So the first task it's now correct. So you can.
It uses headers automatically, or?
Yes, it takes it from the file. The first line considered as the pd.read CSV. Read Excel also use it as the first line. So we have the if I'm not mistaken, here is the columns. I should think. No. I think that use calls. I think this one. So use calls if you pass the square brackets with the list, you will get your own columns names. So I think that if we, I don't know how many, oops. Okay, so we will take the calls as list from the Pokemon data right here. So we will look as the calls, and we will set the calls 0 as, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, something like this. So if we use not the use calls, because use calls should be yes, we have an error with it, the error is not found. So we can take the use calls is for which columns you should take. So you may skip some columns or something like this. And there should be other argument. I need to look pd.readcs3, something with a header, I think. Maybe I think that we need to pass the header like none, and we can pass the header names like calls, and the header like, I don't know, maybe none, or like this. The Pokemon data. Correct. So that's why we will have to think about the first line as just as the first row, 0 row. So, but we can pass our own captions or titles of the columns. So you can definitely do this. So do you have any other questions?
What do we use the question mark for?
The question mark is to take the help.
Okay.
So if you have some, for example, function, and you do not know what it does, you place the question mark and you get the quick help.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No. So today we have the at 9 p.m. we have the home task released. So you need to do this in next 2 weeks. So I hope that you can do this by yourself, and that's all for this week. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you. Goodbye.
See you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.